what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Lineage Break Grand Archive TCG Podcast. I am your host, Cam. With me, as always, is Steven. Woo, woo, woo. Sorry, those ears are deleted. Sorry about that.
Hello, chat.
We'll put a warning on the screen. No, we won't.
No, we won't. Maybe we will. Our editor's pretty good at that stuff.
It's up to her.
She does meme us.
Hey, welcome to the show. There's a hair in my mouth. I got it. Hey, chat, YouTube,
Universe Beyond,
wherever you watch Lineage Break, through your eyeball machines. It's going to be a bit of a slow show today, all right? We don't have a whole lot of news to talk about. We are right
at the cusp
of news. We can feel it. But that means that we have very little news today. Yeah. A couple of things that we're going to go over. We do have a letter to read. Our very favorite, scariest posts from any sort of company is lots of black text on a white background because it's, could be Grand Archive not doing so well. It's being canceled. Thankfully, that is not the case. But we do have a letter to read. We have a little something else to talk about. And then, of course, we have Utrecht this weekend as of recording, so we're going to talk a little bit about Utrecht, make some wild predictions. I've chosen who's going to win the event. Steven, I encourage you to do so as well.
Oh, I already have.
Perfect. We'll talk about that later so that we can be right, about that. All right. So, before we get to all that, I wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on right now, Steven. We just had our regionals.
Thank you all for coming out. It was a great time. Shout out to the True Champion Gaming crew. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Noel from Chess Club. And shout out to the Paddy Wagon, our friends who own a food truck, for catering the event.
It's great. Everybody loved it. So if you want your catered lunch included with your entry fee, prize support, all that good stuff, come to Webway Games for regionals. Spoilers. I've already been reached out to for regionals for next season. So we will once again be having Webway regionals for HVN. Date TBD. But look forward to that. Shout out to everybody for coming. It was, if I'm being honest, a little smaller than I would have liked. We had 39 players when all was said and done. So I need 11 more of you fuckers out there to show up next season, all right? Give me a full house. Make it nice and easy. Shout out to my judge, Trevor, owner of ProxyusCodex.com. Go there for all of your spoilers. Lovely lad. Help me out. And also shout out to Lineage Break's own Andrew Texera for winning the event. Congratulations,
also,
Tex.
Shout out to one Bubba Gooner.
Bubba Gooner making top 8. That's my store champion.
Let's go, Travis.
If you are at an event and you see
the tallest man in
the room,
it is either Geo, who I think quit playing the game, or Travis.
And he'll be wearing a jersey that says Bubba Gooner, so you'll know that that's our Bubba Gooner. Yeah. Originals went super well. Super happy with it, and great to see all you familiar faces. Like you said, the TCG guys, Noel, traveling all the way here is crazy. Of course, all of our locals from the surrounding states of New England, we appreciate you coming out, and we hope that you continue to support the New England Grand Archive community, and in doing so, you can go to New Jersey Regionals this weekend. That's tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Starts at 11
a.m.
And then round 1 at noon, I believe, is what Al said.
Yeah, I think doors open at 11, round 1 at noon. Be there, be square. Steven, I know you're trying to go. I know some plans. Or
trying to go, but getting anyone to commit to anything when you're not involved is really tough.
Yeah, interesting. I think that tournament's actually going to be kind of cursed. Not cursed, as in I'm sure it'll be a lovely event. It always is. But it's the same day as Utrecht, as we mentioned earlier. So I think there's a bunch of people that are going to be missing.
One Burner, one Stevo.
Yeah, I don't know about Burner. I don't know if he went. I think Steve-O went to Utrecht. Last I checked, he went to Utrecht. I think that Corbin and Braden did as well. Mark and Trent are in Utrecht. So we're gonna be missing some killers down in
Jersey.
So if you're looking to sweep up those backup Chargers, get your ass down to Jersey tomorrow. Final Turn Gaming. Final Turn Gaming, is that right? Or is that the one in California?
Turn 4?
Nope, that's a hobby store that closed.
Yeah.
It's one of those. FTG. Yeah. I don't remember which one it is, though.
PA is the following weekend, next Saturday. Not this one coming up, but next Saturday.
We're going to try to be there. Same deal. Haven't made plans yet, but our plan is to be there. So.
Yeah, our plan is we go.
I'm going to try. I like to plan one a season. So, that's the one.
Yep.
Hopefully win myself a backup charger so I don't have to buy one. But hey, all you out there.
I wouldn't buy it.
when you win your backup chargers, hook up your boy. I ain't trying to pay $500. It's too much dinero.
Just buy one after they return it in.
Yeah, but they're going to be the same price,
They're usually not. They're the non shiny CSRs are usually much cheaper.
Oh, well, I don't want that.
Oh, you want the
are you kidding? Of course, I want the fucking real one with the signature on it, right?
See, I'm
so
just
I'm gonna end up paying the same amount of money, anyways.
Yeah. See, I plan on just buying the invite cards for the lurkings because she hot. I'm not buying the squiggly.
I can't do it, man. It's gotta have that.
I'll give someone $200 for a play set, not $200 for one.
I'll tell you what, dude. I was really, I guess, thankful that I am poor. But I saw someone today on the ye old Facebook. Grand Archive group post a playset of fast cure CPRs, and I was like, "Ooh, man, I really want those." They were priced affordably.
Yeah,
I was like, but I can't spend that kind of money. But man, I want those so bad. So yeah, the invite lurking is fire.
Yeah, she's like sick, and she's got like ravens around her and stuff.
It's a really good crop this year, man. I hadn't really thought about it until recently, and. You have like exclusively Orb of Hubris, terrible card, and then nothing but bangers.
Right.
Blazing Throw, Lurking Assailant, Academy Guide, Lightweaver's Assault, Backup Charger. So it's a really good, good crop of cards for sure. Oh, I guess you have Exercise Curses, which I would dub in the fast cure line of it's okay. Right. If Diana was good again, it would be good. There was a time where Exercise Curses was in everything, so. Hubris is gorgeous. I agree with
It's just
Mitchell.
a bad card.
It's just a bad card. I heard from Poro. Here you go. Here are your spoilers from Poro. I was talking to Poro. And I heard maybe that the Orb of Hubris CPR has the grippers out. So
grippers.
There's your.
We should get a gripper button.
I clipped that thing from Cali last night saying, "Look at those grippers," and
I
would like to have the button. Look at those grippers. There's grippers apparently. I haven't seen it, but that's what I hear. All right. Anyways, so yeah. There's some regionals coming up. Grand Archive players like feet. That's about it. Regionals are coming up. We'll be at a couple of them. Steven will be at all of them. I will be at one of them. That is the plan. And we will see you there. So if you're in the New England area, do that or something. All right. Clear my throat to do some reading.
Do you want to read or do you want me to read?
Do you think that you can sight read this and not fuck it up?
Probably.
I believe in you, Steven. So last week.
You do a lot of talking.
That's right. It's true. Last week we talked a little bit about, and by a little bit I mean a lot of bit about the ALC altar issues. Those cards curling like a motherfucker. Looks like magic cards when you pull them out of the back. I was doing some cleaning. You guys can't see the background, but it's nice and freeing in here. It feels like we're not sitting inside a closet so much anymore.
I walked in this morning and was taken aback.
We're working on some cleaning. But anyways, while I was cleaning, I found 2 foils from the weekend because, I was busy this weekend. And so anything that I got this weekend, I sort of just left out, and I've been tidying that up. And so I found a sapphire foil that I opened, and then a pack foil that I opened from ALC Altar. And man, the difference is stark. But complaining aside, something that we said on the show last week, mistakes happen, and it's totally fine for Grand Archive to make mistakes. They're a small company. They have a lot to deal with, and Steve will read it in a second here, but it seems like when ALC Alter was due to go to print, there was some distribution issues as far as getting the raw materials in order for the paper mixture that they usually use for Grand Archive, and so the GA team sort of had a decision. Decision A would obviously be to delay ALC Alter, but that sort of puts a whole wrench in the timeline. It makes the sort of like midpoint in our standard season just not exist anymore if ALC Alter got delayed. Or option B was to release the set with some less than ideal conditions, and that is obviously what they ended up doing, which, whether you like that decision or not is a decision that they made, but they have made a public statement about that, and I think that's really important. So, to make sure that we get enough eyes on said public statement, we're going to give it a read for you.
To the Grand Archive community, we want to address an error caused by a manufacturing mistake during the production of Alchemical Revolution Alter Edition. Level 2 champion cards of Polcock and Nico were not included in the set. This error also applies to Level 1 and Level 2 champions of Lineage, which are also not included in the set. This error will be fixed in all future waves of Alchemical Revolution Alter. This was just the foils.
Just referring to the foils, yeah. So you cannot open foils of the new champions in the first print run of Alter.
In addition to the missing champion cards, we also want to address the concerns from the community around the texture of the cards because of the supply chain issues caused largely by industrial shipping delays and overall lower qualities of stock needed to meet demands of our growing print runs. We will be forced to utilize a different mixture of paper to produce Alchemical Revolution Alter Edition. We feel that this does not impact the legality of cards, and we want to assure our community that all future runs of Alchemical Revolution Alter Edition and all upcoming sets will use the combination of paper that matches the incredibly high standards we have at Grand Archive TCG. We apologize for any inconveniences this has caused and want you to know our manufacturing teams have been working tirelessly even through the holidays to ensure the successful launch of Abyssal Haven and sets beyond. Sincerely, Weeps of the Shore.
So yeah, I want to, I put out a tweet when they put this out, and I want it to be very clear that where I stand on this issue, as I said just a moment ago, mistakes happen, and the most important thing for me is that it's not that Grand Archive doesn't make mistakes. They make plenty. They're a very small team. They're new to this whole creating a trading card game from scratch thing, which is totally reasonable. I don't mind when mistakes happen. I think the most important thing for me is that Grand Archive is always forthcoming with information and transparency and accountability when it comes to any of the mistakes that arise. This isn't the first time that we've gotten a statement like this from Grand Archive. And I think that that's really important. That's what gives me faith in the company, is not that they won't make mistakes. I'm sure they will. Everybody does. But that they will take accountability for it and give us, transparent solutions when it comes to problems like this. Like, not to drag Hasbro through the mud, right? But have we ever seen Magic address that they have the same issue with their card stock by design in every set that they've released for the past 8 years?
Or way longer, right?
No, right? Like they don't care, right?
And they're just like, here, buy the next secret layer.
And it always sort of like works in the opposite, right? Where I think it was Modern Horizons 3 was printed in Japanese. Phyrexia All is one was as well. It was printed in Japan. And the card stock was much higher quality when it was printed in Japan, and so they didn't have that curling issue, right? But that's something that the community figured out. That's not something that Wizards was like, hey, this is how we are printing our cards. And so it does mean a lot to me that Grand Archive is very transparent about that. And the good news from this statement is that future print runs of Alter and all future sets, according to them, will be printed with their regular GA quality control and that regular paper mixture that we are all so enamored of. Obviously, I can't say that this isn't upsetting. A lot of people are upset about this, and I think understandably. Anybody that bought a bunch of ALC Alter is going to be a little bit miffed. Even myself, I was like really looking forward to picking up foils for like the Astra stuff that I'm missing, and of course the new cards, right, that are selling for astronomically stupid prices. But now I find myself sort of in the strange spot where there's no like determining factor between this first wave of Alter, first edition, and future waves of Alter that anytime that I buy a foil, I have to sort of, if I can't verify it in person, roll the dice on whether or not I'm going to get this weird curved Magic the Gathering foil, or if I'm going to get the regular Grand Archive foil that I want. As far as card legality goes, they seem convinced that this isn't going to be a problem. I personally am not like super convinced on that front. I've always had a bit of a wavering regarding like the SP foils, like SP1, SP2, because they have that same issue where they really curl, and I think that's because those are full art, and that's before they did the new foiling process. But I do worry about the curling that we see on these cards, and if you put those into your deck, especially we're up in Massachusetts, and Siladar said in public on one of the Discords that it's dry and cold that's been causing this curling issue, and obviously it's very dry and cold up here in New England, so our cards are particularly curved, so I'm a little bit worried about that as far as legality issues goes. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm yapping enough. How do you feel, Steven?
Same sentiment. Like, I appreciate the transparency. Luckily, I'm not a main deck foil enjoyer, so it doesn't affect me as much as it would most. But it does, hurt the value of the card. So it's, the foils that I have opened from ALC Alter are going to be harder to move.
Right, of course, yeah.
So that's where I'm more concerned about, rather than like you, who is a foil main deck enjoyer. I'm more concerned about like the tradability and the stuff like that, where it's like, I would like to move this stuff, but people are are going to be hesitant. Like, well,
I'm not buying any. Like,
right, exactly. Yeah. So it's like it's a tough place to be in for a collector or
right.
for even player. It's tough for everyone, but luckily we have a company that actually cares about its players and is going to fix this in the future. However, like you said, it's going to be tough to. Unless you're doing your trading and buying in person, it's going to be really tough for Alter.
Yeah. Yeah, I think hopefully it'll end up being like a blip, right? And it'll be very uncommon that you see these. Alter is something that's going to be printed in perpetuity, at least for the next few years. I don't think they announced an official date yet, but so hopefully there's enough Alter printed that the portion that is the launch printing will be just like much smaller, and it'll sort of fade into obscurity. I never really was a main deck foil person. I'm like really worried about card legality, and I've played competitive Magic for 15 years, or I played competitive Magic for 15 years or whatever. I obviously don't play anymore. That game's cringe. But I would never put foils in my deck. I was a big fan of like artist signatures and foreign cards, right? Because I do like really like the customizability of trading card games, and I like being able to like show off your dedication to your deck, right? Like, I've gone out of my way to get these fancy versions of all these cards because I'm so dedicated to my archetype, right? I've always loved that. And it was when AMB came out, actually, like very recently, that I was convinced by Grand Archive to start buying these main deck foils because of that whole thing that Shinja did with the rice cooker and everything. It was like, they don't curl. Like, you never have to worry about legality in your deck. And so I was like, finally, I can feel confident enough in the competitive playability to put these foils into my deck. And then we're like right after we have this pretty strange hiccup. So I'm glad that they're moving past it. I would be like way more upset if we didn't get the statement like this, right? Because it's the not knowing for me. It's not like this was a mistake and these foils are kind of fucked up, whatever, right? I can move past that, and I honestly, end of the day, I don't care. I don't even think, like we said, comparing this to Magic or any other card game, in the grand scheme of things, this is just basically a non-issue. Like, if this happened with any other card game that's bigger than Grand Archive, no one would bat an eyelash, right? It's only because we are so confident in the quality of the Grand Archive product and in the dev team that people are upset by this. But if you look with an outside lens as far as the industry goes, it's really not a big deal. But personally, I would be like really worried if they didn't put out a statement because, again, I just started buying foils for my decks and I want to be able to do that thing. And if they don't tell me anything about it, how am I supposed to know that HVN doesn't come out and have this same issue, right? So I think the most important thing for me is that they've addressed it and that this won't be an issue going forward. So that is really good. So, yeah.
I feel the same way.
Cool, man. Thanks for the statement, Grand Archive. We love you. I will be looking forward to buying all of the foil cards for Cleric in HVN.
Yeah.
Hey, Steven.
Hey, Cameron. Hey, folks.
Speaking of which,
Ooh.
we got a little bit of happy news to go over today. You may have seen it in my post on the main cord, but if you didn't, we have something to tell you, which is quite exciting and maybe can give you a little bit of insight as to what the next 6 weeks will look like until HVN comes out. Steven and I,
that's us,
have received some correspondence from the Weebs of the Shore team. And we have received a
couple
spoiler cards from Abyssal Heaven.
Ooh.
And let me tell you, chat, YouTube, they look pretty good.
Yeah.
They look pretty good. They look pretty good.
Pretty good.
They look pretty good. And I will tell you, chat, YouTube, Steven, all I will say about our spoiler cards is, of course, we will not be doing any spoiling today.
No,
that is not the time.
You don't get to know.
However,
it's not the knowing time.
I was quite surprised, and she does not do what I thought she would. I'll tell you that.
That is true.
She does not do what I thought she would.
That is true.
You can look forward to that. And if you want to look forward to that, you can catch us on Valentine's Day, because your boys love a holiday.
Oh, yeah.
Our spoiler will be out on Valentine's Day, so instead of going out on a date with some 3D person, you can stay in and watch us talk about some hot 2D anime girls.
Or you and your 3D person can watch together. No. But you both have to watch at different computers because it's better for the algorithm.
True. So look forward to that. That'll be on Valentine's Day. I know some other content creators have also received spoilers, but they will, of course, announce that themselves. I assume Weebs will make an official schedule at some point as well. So look forward to that. But the time is coming. That's all I can tell you. Is that our spoiler is in a couple of weeks. So look forward to spoilers starting soon, TM, sometime.
Soon.
So that's cool. Yeah. What if I want to watch on a smart TV? I think we still get the click, so that's fine. It's all about that CPM, Steven. Clicks per minute. High as possible.
I would like to also confirm Cam and I are always Valentines.
Yes. Like every year. Every year for the rest of time.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's spoilers. I think, is that all the news that we wanted to cover? Like I said, guys, yeah.
This is our favorite time of the year, right? It's the time of the year where randomly Silidar will post a spoiler, like we got with last week in Daochen.
Right.
And then
Hey, I was responsible for that. All right, I just want to be very clear.
Yeah, okay.
That you're welcome. Okay,
yeah.
You're welcome.
And then we get the blurred image of Gosha's level 3 CSR, and
so here's what I'm saying.
We still don't know what that card does.
Here's what I'm saying, Steven. All right, so I sat down at work instead of working, and I took a solid 20 minutes doing my research to find out, when first spoiler card was printed versus when set releases or whatever, right? To make that cursed tweet.
Correct.
Right. I made that cursed tweet. I asked when Daochen spoilers are. Siladar hooks it up because he's a homie, right?
Yeah.
All I'm saying, the reason why you haven't seen Goja, I'm that cleric simp guy, dude. Like, that's my job. Where's the fucking tamer people, man? Nobody cares. Like, come on. Do better.
Do you want to know why no one cares?
What?
It's because everyone hates slimes.
That's fair. Maybe they've...
all of the tamer people quit being tamer people when slimes were printed.
Tamer's cool.
Look at our one Trenton Bollinger.
I'm telling you, slimes are cool. Tamer's cool.
But I was very upset especially because of how lovely of a troll Sil is, and said, bookmark this, come back in 24 hours. So at 1:30 in the morning on Monday, when I have to work in 6 hours, I'm up refreshing Twitter looking for my Goja spoiler that didn't come.
I mean, it was still there. He didn't lie to you.
Yeah, that's true. It was still there, but no text.
Didn't go away.
I was.
That was where I learned about that meme, which is strange.
What?
Well, like the thing is like the load in 4K or whatever. Yeah, and I'd seen it a bunch that day, and I was like, "What the fuck do they mean?" And then I did what it says: you tap, hold, load in 4K, and I was like, "What does this button even do?" And obviously, it did nothing.
Yeah.
But I don't know why that button exists.
Yeah, it's a meme button.
It's a meme button, but there is a button that says load in 4K.
Because it's a meme platform.
Yeah, I know that Logan in the chat is a really big fan of that meme. He posts about it a lot.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, whatever. Get over it. Goja's going to be sick, I'm sure. I'm not a Tamer player, but I'm very excited for all you Tamer people. She's cute. That's all that matters, right? So we'll see her soon, I'm sure. It's absurd to think, right, that we see Goja posted, blurry or whatever. Spoiler season starting in a couple of weeks, right? As far as we know. They got to show us the design notes.
Eventually.
They gotta show us eventually, right? Like, it has to be before spoilers. Like, we got our spoilers, and again, we're not going to dwell on that too much. They're really cool. They give us some assumptions about how a certain cleric plays, right? But we still don't know. It's not like we got the info. It's like, well, here's what Dao Chen does, right. And then here are your spoilers. Right. Like, we got spoilers. We can make some assumptions.
They just, poke, and then it's like, hey.
Yeah, hey, here's spoilers. So we don't know. So, like, we got to figure out sometime soon. And so my sneaking suspicion is that we'll see them in Utrecht this weekend.
Which is what we said last week.
Whoa. So stay tuned for those closing
Lineage
ceremonies. Maybe that'll happen. But I really have no information. I'm not blowing smoke. Like, I don't know. That's just what I assume. That's what I've put 2 and 2 together, and then when we're wrong,
it's just what I believe.
It's just what I believe. Speaking of Utrecht, that's this weekend, Steven. Did you hear that?
That's this weekend.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild, right?
First European ascent ever.
Yeah.
Whoa, congrats, Europe. You did it. You did it, man.
What's the prize card?
Is it Gwendolyn? Yeah, it's Wet Sox. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Good luck on your Gwendolyn.
This is the last Wet Sox. I was talking to one Caben Schwarzentruber, who was here for Webboy Games Regionals. You can also meet celebrities like Caben Schwarzentruber of True Champion Gaming at your Webboy Regionals. I was talking to him, and what he told me is the only reason why I know this is these are the last Gwendolyns, because I don't keep a track of prize cards, because obviously I'm never going to win them, so why do I care? But Caben has the chance. There's only him and one other person. I forget who the other person is, but has the chance to have the first place of every spirit, because he has, a few of them. And so he has the Aethne and he has a Sabrina as well. And so this is his last chance to get a Gwendolyn. Otherwise, it is impossible for him to get the first place of every spirit, because this is going to be the last appearance of Gwendolyn. So he's going to be trying hard to get that number 1 slot for those Wet Sox.
Yeah.
True.
Because Isaac won that first one.
Which one? Oh, the Gwendolyn?
Yeah. What? No, he won it. Right?
Won what? Gwendolyn?
Yeah.
In Ontario?
Houston, right?
No, Houston, Caben won.
Right. Isn't that what we're talking about?
What the fuck are you talking about, Steven?
Oh, Houston was Fire Spirit. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind. I'm dumb, guys.
We've lost him in the weeds.
Yeah, no, I'm dumb.
Caban did win that first.
Yeah.
The first ever Ace Knee belongs to him.
Yeah.
Isaac got second. I don't know what Spirit Isaac won, though, but I think it was one of the new ones. Because that was just in, that was Christchurch?
Yes.
I don't know which one. Christchurch was Sabrina, I think? I don't know. Anyways, like I said, I don't keep track. But yeah, so this is the last time for you to get your Gwendolyn is here in Utrecht. And we do have a couple of friends there as well. We have Mark and Trent both made the trip to Europe.
Trevor.
Did Trevor go?
I thought he was talking about it. Did he?
I don't think Trevor went.
Interesting. He was the one that was talking about it the most.
Mr. Misinformation over here.
Hey, I don't know.
He doesn't know what's going on.
All I know is that I haven't seen him post.
Yeah.
And he was talking about going the most.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe he is there. So. I don't think so. But anyways, so some of our friends are there, and we're, of course, very happy for them to be in Europe. But, Steven, we've had a week or so with Alter, and I wonder if there's some new sick Vanitas deck or this fire erupting Arisana deck or whatever. Any of these like weird fringe decks that people are talking about maybe having emerged from ALC Alter, or if Utrecht's just going to be a bunch of water players Iceman slamming each other to death.
If I had to make an assumption, it's just going to be a bunch of people playing that Sylvie deck.
It's an interesting one. The Sylvie deck is very strange.
Yeah. The Matt G water erupting.
Yeah, it's a bit of a choice. We've seen this water Sylvie deck pop up over the past couple of weeks, and not the like water Sylvie Nico deck that we've been familiar with for a long time, or this water Arisana deck, right? It is like that same sort of Icebound Slam stratagem package, but playing holistically Tamer. Obviously, you get stuff like Seaside Ringleader and Rippleback Terrapin. But the interesting part about that Sylvie deck is it is sort of a reaction to the meta, right? The reason why so many people are playing the Sylvie deck is because it is allegedly better into the mirror, right? It's better into Water Ari, it's better into the Sylvie Nico decks, because it gives you a little bit more on-board pressure with these Terrapins and stuff.
A Terrapin and Frostwarns and
right.
Just big dumb idiots.
However, if everybody starts playing the deck that's good against the other meta decks, it stops becoming good because it's not particularly good into itself.
Correct.
It's just good into the other meta decks. And we had a really strange time here locally with my business partner, Raph, who's been playing Fire Exeogen this past couple of weeks and has like fallen into his matchup into like Water Ari and Nico is deterministically unwinnable. But then everybody swapped over to this Sylvie deck, and he's like actually really favored into the Sylvie deck because they can't remove Nullifying Lantern.
Is that true?
Yeah, they don't have fucking Crystalline.
Oh yeah,
because they're not a cleric. So they have to. Some of them are like sideboarding Mystic Purifiers. They have to fracturize your Lantern and then purifier it, which is just like absurdly cursed and way too inconsistent. So they have a lot harder time into Nullifying Lantern. But obviously their A plan is not really the stratagem use to beat you to death with these big turtles.
Right.
But Raph's playing Fire Exeogen, right? So, so you can't kill him with allies, and they can no longer kill him by milling him because Nullifying Lantern's a problem.
Yeah, that's actually super funny.
So yeah, it's really interesting to me how metagames sort of shift like that we've all shifted to this Sylvie deck that is supposed to be good into the other water decks, but if everybody shifts to the Sylvie deck, it becomes like sort of a detriment to be playing the Sylvie deck as opposed to other water decks. So.
Yeah, I actually am super interested in the Fire Arisana Slash and Burn deck. That deck looks super cool.
Yeah, a couple of people have talked about it. I haven't seen anybody show any sort of like results with it.
Mark won locals with it, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like a real results. But like, you know, I don't know if people are like playing it or like even attempting to play it.
I don't know. Yeah, I've heard people talk about it, but again, I don't know. Like, I heard people talk about the Water Arisana deck, right? Pre-Santa Clara. And so it's really interesting how our community is so small that so many of these top players do sort of like sandbag decks a lot. And I'm not saying the water Ari or fire Ari is in that place, but this is exactly the sort of like hushed tones that I had heard about the water Ari deck that had like gotten 8th in a Yeti.
Right.
You know, like, oh, a couple of people are playing this water deck. It seems cool. And then at Santa Clara, it's 33% of the field, right? So I'm curious if there's going to be some deck hiding in the wings. I really think the Vanitas has been like very unexplored, and there's like surely something there.
I keep hearing, you know, whispers of a Vanitas deck, but no evidence of it.
Who knows? I mean, the Vanitas deck might just be another Icebound Slam stratagem deck, right?
I mean, I tried to play that deck, and
who knows?
It was so much worse.
But we are interested to see how that's gonna go.
Yeah.
I do have a horse though.
Oh, who we betting on?
I said that I would, and I do stick by it. He made a public post in Merlin's about what he's playing, or maybe what he's playing. I guess he could be lying, but I don't know if he actually wants me to say that, so I'm not going to. But my money is on one Cactus from True Cactus Gaming.
True Cactus Cactus?
Yeah. True Cactus to win Utrecht. That's my.
Oh yeah.
That's my horse in the race.
Nice.
Yeah. Obviously, we hope our friends do well.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put my money behind Trenton Bollinger.
Trenton Bollinger, the creator of the Bollinger deck press.
The creator of the Bollinger deck press, good friend of the show. My dad. I gotta back him. You know, he's my dad.
We gotta support Dad for sure. I don't know what Dad's playing actually.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't know that Dad knows what Dad's playing.
Dad usually doesn't know what he's playing. Dad doesn't know where he is usually.
Yeah, that's true. Just gonna wake up at the tournament.
Yeah,
gonna wake up in the top 8.
Yeah.
But of course, we wish that all of our friends do well, and we have so many friends in the community that obviously we hope you all do well. We're just shooting the shit, but Cactus is gonna win, of course.
Yeah,
that's my guy.
Yeah.
I hear people talking out in the store.
Yeah.
A little bit concerning. Maybe they're standing outside my door. Did you locked the door when I came in here? Yeah. Who knows? Maybe they're just shooting the shit outside the store. But speaking of shooting the shit, I think that is actually all that we have for you today.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for a bit of a short show, but of course we don't have any news. I would like to put my foot down and say, Silidar, what happened? I missed so much. What happened to my tidbit season?
Yeah, I missed tidbits.
We got like 2 tidbits. Where's my tidbit season, Silidar? Come on.
We've talked about so many times on the show how Silidar tidbits are like the best part about like the pre-spoiler season.
Tidbits.
Because then we get to like, discuss his like cryptic message. Like
the last one about the hay before all the horses were announced.
And
like, come on.
Like the Rock. Like, come on, man.
I hear Rock's coming back.
It's so good.
Yeah. What's going on? But you know what's going on, chat? We're leaving you. But this weekend, catch Utrecht. There will be a stream up. Catch that closing ceremonies.
Yeah, catch that New Jersey Regional tomorrow.
True.
If you're in the local area.
And you can catch us next week here on the show. We shoot the show live every Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, *. We put up the previous week's episode every Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, *. Actually caught up today, thanks to Steven. So everything is all caught up. You guys can watch the current show. I guess last week's show. In an hour.
At 2.
Other than that, we'll see you next week. Hopefully next week.
We'll be talking about a lot.
Hopefully. We really don't know. I promise you, but that's the hope.
We'll be talking about the results of Utrecht.
I guess, no matter what, we'll be talking about the closing ceremony, and we'll either be extremely happy or we'll be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Where are the design notes?
Where? When?
All right. But thanks for watching.
Thanks. Woo.
Yeah, come on.
I thought we were woo together.
Woo.
Woo. There you go.
Gotta work on our harmonies.